What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's video. Answering another subscriber question, but I hit the thing and put it on the wrong. Hold on, give me a second. I found it. Christopher Peterson asked, Christopher, it's got two T's in it, so is that Pedersen or Peterson? So Christopher, please, if you see this video, answer the question so if I shout you out in the future. Anyway, here we go. Christopher's question was, okay, I know I've asked this before, but I'll ask it again. Sorry if I missed it the first time. I'm a larger framed angler, 6'1", at 350 pounds. While I'm on a quest to shed some pounds, my question is, what kind of kayak would you recommend to someone of this stature to get into kayak fishing? I'm sure, and I mean no offense to anyone, you can relate to this dilemma at some point in your career, as you are the one to influence someone like me to pursue kayak fishing, or is it a pipe dream I'm chasing at this weight? Otherwise, great content, learned a lot from you, and as I said, you've been a great influence to me. Well, Chris, thank you, I appreciate that, and actually, also comment on whether or not you're a Chris or a Christopher. I know there's some Christophers out there that insist on not being shortened to Chris, so I apologize for that. Anyway, so let me answer your question. No, it's not a pipe dream. In fact, I know guys, you know, upwards of 400 and even a little more than 400 pounds that have successfully gotten into kayak fishing. But as you know, if you're following the channel, that I've shed quite a bit of weight, and I can tell you that it's worth it. It's worth the effort. It's worth the energy. It's worth the time. I feel better. I think I look better. I feel better because I look better. My clothes fit better. I'm more comfortable in the boat. Everything about life is better. And I'm healthier. I'm going to be around longer for the kids, for myself, for Christy, you know, all that good stuff. So if you don't do it for you, do it for the ones you love. And so obviously that's an important part of it. But at 350, there's a lot of kayaks you can get into. You know, one of the things that I'll say that doesn't do well for bigger guys is, unfortunately, a lot of the price point options, especially the smaller budget price point options, that $700 to $900 range, there aren't a lot of great options for bigger anglers. Not so much because the boat won't hold you up, not so much because the boat isn't, you know, have enough capacity, but a lot of times the seats are not that great at those price points. And so that's something you got to think of, because the heavier you are, the more weight you have on your butt, the less comfortable you are in a crappy seat. You know, a little thin person that weighs nothing can be comfortable sitting on a piece of hard plastic or in a seat that's not that great. But the heavier you are, the more you're going to amplify the lack of comfort in a seat. So I say that you probably should budget for somewhere between $1,200 and, you know, $2,500, depending on what you're looking for, whether you're looking for a paddle kayak, a pedal kayak, and things like that. One thing that I can say is a bit exasperated when you're a bigger person is that if you are trying to use a pedal kayak, a lot of times the gut gets in the way. You're bringing the feet up to your chest. You have to lean back. And when you lean back and you're pedaling the boat, because you have that bigger midsection, generally that's where, you know, especially dudes, that's where we carry our weight. You're kind of in a half crunch because you've got your seat leaned back to get your enough comfort to bring your legs up. And so you're sitting in this half crunch, you're strained, you're casting in a bit of an oblique and, you know, and an abdominal full-on crunch, and you don't even realize it. And then you get fatigued that much sooner. The other thing that people don't think about when they get into fishing kayaks, and if you're out of shape, is that they think a pedal kayak is going to be better. The problem is a pedal kayak is great if you're in shape, but the worse shape you're in, the least favorable they are, because you're using the largest muscle group on your body. And when you're using that larger muscle group, you're building up lactic acid faster, you're going to get fatigued quicker. And again, you're sitting in that bent position, you're sitting in that half crunch position, you're going to have tight shoulders from casting, from sitting in that position. Your torso is going to be fully engaged, and your upper thighs and your hip flexors, especially if you don't stretch properly before getting in the kayak, are going to be a problem. So I always recommend not buying the cheapest boat you can get into if you're a big dude. If you can afford a better boat, whether you're a big dude or not, then get into it. But let me run through some of the boats that I think are the better big boy boats. You know, I'm not a small guy right now, even after losing, you know, a lot of weight. I'm still 260 something. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I peaked out at 346 pounds. So bro, I'm right there with you at my heaviest. And so the boats that I think are in that category, the ones that I think you should look at, the Hobie Pro Angler is a great boat if you're going to go the pedal route. It's a big boat. Of the pedal kayaks, it has that higher seat with that downward angle, so it relieves some of the things that I just talked about, or it minimizes some of the things that I just talked about. So that's a great choice. The Jackson Big Rig is always a good choice for bigger anglers. It's a wide boat. It's got plenty of room. The seat height is not too high to not be stable for the boat and not too low that it's difficult to sit down and stand up in. The Pursuit from New Canoe is a great boat because it's a super open cockpit, a really wide seat, a high back with a lot of support. So the New Canoe Pursuit is a great boat to put on your consideration list. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Bonafide SS127. So the Bonafide SS127 has got to be on your list. It's the seat to height to boat stability ratio that I think is the closest to perfect in the industry. But the Wilderness Systems Attack is a great boat. You know, if you're looking for a little more speed, go with the 140. If you're looking for a little bit more maneuverability, go with the Attack 120. And then some, you know, other boats out there that I would consider kind of honorable mentions. They're just not ones that I have much experience in. Would be the Old Town Predator. The Old Town Predator, though, if you're going to go the pedal drive route, in my opinion, the seat height is a little low for the height of the pedal, so you're paddling that uphill thing and you're a little more crunched if you're a larger framed angler. So I look more towards the Native or the Hobie. And again, the only reason that I'm putting this boat as an honorable mention and not one of my top picks is because it's a pedal drive, and I said I would, you know, kind of push you towards paddling first, especially if you're a bigger dude, is the Native series of Titans, whether it's the smaller Titan or the larger Titan. They're great boats. They're big boats. They're going to have plenty of room, plenty of stability. They've got a good seat height to downward angle to the pedals. They've got the reverse option. So that's a great setup. And then the Native Propel series, in my opinion, are great because they're really decent paddling boats, but great pedaling boats. Whereas the Hobie Pro Angler, for example, isn't going to paddle that great if you're not using the pedals. And so if you're going to split all the difference, the Native Propel series is probably right there in the middle. You know, the Titan series is that great big boy, big paddling boat. It's a little heavier, a little bit more difficult to transport. I've paddled the 13.5. I haven't paddled the 10-foot version, the smaller version. But from everything that I hear from Greg Blanchard and Ryan Lambert and some of the pros that work with them, it's a great boat. And I've had no reason to not think it's a great boat from what I've seen from the performance on the water. So again, those are some great big boy boats, something to consider. I personally would say when you first get into it, get your boat handling skills, your boat management skills and things like that down by getting a paddle boat. Don't buy a cheap boat because they're really not gonna have a comfortable seat for a bigger dude. And also, if you decide to upgrade to a pedal kayak, if you consider that an upgrade, or go to a more expensive boat, is really what I mean, then you're always gonna have that boat that has a little bit more resale value retention if you buy a better boat. If you don't buy a cheap, you know, disposable, you know, Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods or one of those types of, you know, cheaper kayaks. So again, that's my recommendation. Great question. I know it's something that I should probably talk about more. But yeah, first and foremost, try to drop some LBs. It'll be better for you. It'll be better for your family. It'll be better for your fishing. And then other than that, just find yourself a boat that'll fit. Go sit in them. Go try them. Jump on the Kayak Bass Fishing group page and see if you can't find an angler in your area that'll let you demo their kayak. One of the things that's probably more overlooked than anything else is you don't have to just go to a retailer for a demo day. Go on one of the message boards or forums, find a local angler that might let you come out. Don't inconvenience them and ask them to come to you. Just find out when the next time they're going fishing and while they're getting themselves together, see if you can go out and paddle it for a few minutes before they take off for the day. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Smash that thumbs up button, and I will see y'all next time.